out taking the car out because it's like the last nice day we're gonna have here for Texas standards, for at least the next few weeks that's on the forecast. There's rain coming in and wind, and temperatures gonna be dropping quite a bit. That was an excuse to take the car out, and I was wanting to talk about my plans when it comes to the GT500 that I have, and what I intend to do with this when the new the ordered platforms come out for the new S650, and if I'm going to hang on to what I have or sell it. We already know the answer to that. I'm not going to sell this car. But why I'm not going to sell this car for the new S650 5.0, I do plan on picking one up, but the reasoning why I'm not going to sell what I have to get one. Before we dive any further into today's video, if you're watching this, please do me a favor, because I'm inching closer and closer to 1,000 subscribers, and every content creator on YouTube, the first goal, sorry about all the wind, the first goal for all of us is 1,000. Once you hit 1,000, then things start happening. So first goal is 1,000. So if you're watching and you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit subscribe, drop a comment, drop a like, of course. But by hitting subscribe, it greatly helps us out and helps push us further. And also, with that said, I've talked about before, I am going to be doing a giveaway as soon as I hit 1,000 subscribers. I'm going to be giving away a bunch of car cleaning products to 2 of my subscribers, along with some Avalon King ceramic coating, which I currently have here on the GT500. So I'm going to give away probably a couple $100 at least of car cleaning products, along with the Avalon King ceramic coating to 2 of my subscribers. But to get entered in for that, I'm going to be announcing an entry process to enter to win those products. Okay, so with the new S650 coming out for the 2024s, you are going to be able to place your orders or reserve them from what everyone is saying around this time next year, so in 2023. But I'm, like I said, not getting rid of what I have for it. Many reasons why, but a lot of people are talking because of the fact that it's now been confirmed on multiple sources, and this has been talked about for a few weeks now, that the ECUs has been confirmed that they are going to be locked. So the tuning capabilities for those are going to be a little bit more of a pain in the ass than it is for something like an S197, GT500, 5.0. So you're going to have a lot more of a problem when it comes to tuning these. And by these, I mean the S650s. It's also been talked about with S650s, they're going to be having some over-the-air updates. So what that means is any like kind of software update, stuff like that, to update computer software in the car. And what that also does is if they detect anything like any malfunctions or the car gets stolen or anything like that, they claim it's specifically for theft issues and other things like that. But I think the majority of those reasons is because of the whole EPA situation happening. Everyone knows that's the majority of the reason for that. So that's going to cause a lot of issues when it comes to the tuning of the S650s. Now I know the current S550s from the 2021s on up already kind of have those issues, but there already is ways around those. I believe with the new S650s, it's not going to be a problem forever. There's going to be ways around it. As I said before, you could buy a standalone, but if you're just trying to tune what you have when it comes to the S650 with the factory ECU in those cars, and the over-the-air updates come through and they detect anything that's not factory, from what everything I've heard and been told, it's going to shut it all down. It's going to put the car in a lit mode. It's not going to allow anything to happen that's not approved by Ford. So I guess for me, that is probably one of the main reasons why I don't want to get rid of this for something that may potentially have issues upgrading and adding a blower. Now I know with adding a blower, you can go with a Whipple from the factory, and there's other options like that too as well, but you can't just do anything you want to them, like a S197 or a 2020 on down S550. So if I got rid of this, then I guess for myself, I would, like any other person, be like wondering if it ever is going to be unlocked and if they ever are going to find ways around it. Now I know with Dodge, they kind of have that same issue with the jailbreak and a couple other of the cars as well. The new Toyota Supra, same situation. Corvette, same situation. But talking about the new Corvette, they, from what I understand, they're still having issues trying to bypass that. So they're having issues with that from everything that I've understood. So by keeping this and getting on S650 5.0, I wouldn't feel as bad about having a 500 horsepower factory car and the inability to not tune it or not tune it as much as I would want to if I had something like that that already has over 700 horsepower to the wheels, and I can go up from there if I choose to. I guess for me, that's my reasoning. And my plan for the S650 is I will go 10 speed. I don't want to go with a manual because I already have that. I don't need to have that. I would prefer to have the 10 speed for many reasons, drag racing purposes, and the whole daily driver purpose for that also as well. Also too, my daily right now is a Toyota Camry. I plan on replacing the Camry for the S650. I may hang on to it, but chances are I'll sacrifice 2 extra doors for a new S650. There's going to be multiple variants of the S650. You're going to have the standard 5.0, and then also, obviously, what seems to be everyone's fan favorite is the Dark Horse, 500 horsepower. So if you're going to go with a S650 and you want to throw a factory, not a factory, but a blower on it from the factory, like a Whipple or whichever options are available from the factory, I think, at least for myself, going with the standard 5.0 and then throwing the Whipple supercharger onto that and probably cranking out 700-ish horsepower is a better option than going with a Dark Horse and then throwing a blower on top of that. The reason being is because when you get into the Dark Horse and then you throw the whichever supercharger option on top from the factory, and then when you factor in the dealer markups, the cost of the supercharger, the install, someone on the highway, and then the MSRP of the Dark Horse, from what we have heard, it's not been like approved or official yet, but they're estimating they're going to be between $50,000 to $60,000 for the Dark Horse. Now let's just say you're probably looking at like $60,000, and then the tax and licensing, and then the dealer markups. So you're probably going to look at least $10,000 for the dealer markups, and then you add the supercharger, Whipple install. That's probably going to be at least upwards of $10,000, somewhere around that range after install and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to be getting into GT500 money when you factor in the Dark Horse, the supercharger, and the dealer markups. Out the door, you're probably, like I said, going to be looking at 2020 on up GT500. So that is another reason why I think, cost-effective wise, it would be better to go with a standard 5.0 with a Whipple supercharger, 10-speed automatic, 700-ish plus crank horsepower. Call it a day. At least call it a day until you're able to get those ECUs locked, if you don't want to go standalone and break the bank for something like that. So that is my current plan right now, is to go with a performance pack, but 5.0 non-Dark Horse. I just think it's more cost effective. If you're going to spend that much on a GT premium Dark Horse with 700 something horsepower, you're gonna, I mean, at least myself, I'm gonna go with the GT500. And if that's the case, yeah, that's definitely what my choice is. But you're still significantly cheaper, 5.0 with a Whipple, 700 something horsepower, still out the door, probably $25,000-$30,000 less than, or higher than a GT500 out the door, tax and licensing, dealer markups, all that kind of stuff. So tell me what you think. I'm curious to see what your guys' opinions are. Are you just gonna stay away from the S650 altogether because of the fact that it is gonna have a lot of issues modifying it and tuning it specifically how you want it and not how you're allowed? Or are you just gonna say, screw it, I like it anyway, I'm gonna buy one because it'll eventually be unlocked? And I believe it will be eventually unlocked. I don't think it's gonna be an issue forever, but I mean, who knows? Who knows how long that's going to be a problem? And for that reason alone, I'm hanging on to this. And another reason, there's multiple, that is one, two, the sentimental value that I have for this car. I honestly don't think I'll ever get rid of this car. If my channel, hopefully, does succeed and continues to be successful and grows, I'm always going to hang on to this car. Like I've said before in other videos I've done, I always plan to add to the channel. The S650 is probably the next option for that. I may get something before that, but more than likely, I'm going to hold out for the S650 because I like them. I like them a lot. So what are your thoughts? Are you just going to stay away from them? Or are you going to be like myself and pick one up in addition to your S197, 50, GT500, S550? I'm curious. So on that note, the other reason for taking the car out is I was just wanting to go out for a drive. So let's get back in the car. It's windy as hell out, as you can already tell by the audio. There's a storm front coming through, so take the car out before everything turns to crap. So that's part of the reason why I'm out. So let's go for a drive. Let me know what you guys think. I like the new S650, but like everybody else, when it comes to the difficulties with how that car is going to be tuning the car going forward, it's just a lot of uncertainties. So that was just my thought process going forward with what I have, and then wanting to pick up another car also as well. So I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you guys are watching this and you're not subscribed, do me a favor, hit subscribe, and catch you guys next one. See ya.